This Sunday, the start of Pride Month.
We've been here, we've been your friends and neighbors, and we're just going to be a little bit more open about who we are.
In St. Albans, that means a new event.
One of the biggest things we hear is, oh, it's about time, it's been way overdue, it's way too long.
We talk with the organizers about what they hope to bring to their community. Plus,
it makes you feel good when you've been able to help somebody get their pet back.
A man and his drone, reuniting man and his best friend.
We looked at the camera on the drone. He zoomed right into the ground at 400 feet. And we could see it was Amigo in a swamp.
How a former New York State police trooper has found a new calling in retirement, helping families find their dogs. And a neighbor, business owner, and lawmaker being remembered.
He had his thumb on what was going on in his community, what was going on in Vermont.
His friends and former colleagues share what made Dick Mazza so special. It's all next on NBC5 In Depth. Good Sunday morning, I'm Brian Colleran, and this is NBC5 In Depth. It was this time last week, last Sunday, that we learned that longtime Vermont State Senator Dick Mazza had passed away. He had battled pancreatic cancer. The 84-year-old was laid to rest this week. NBC5's Stephen Biddick spoke to his former colleagues and friends as they said goodbye.
Dick, he was missed and he will be missed for a while.
After decades of service to the people of Vermont, family, friends, and neighbors gathered Thursday at Holy Cross Church to remember the life of Senator Dick Mazza.
He's such a nice man, and it was really different this year without him. You know, he came down maybe twice because of his illness, we really missed him.
He died at 84 years of age after losing his battle with pancreatic cancer. Mazza is survived by his wife, brother, children, and of course his beloved general store he opened with his father 70 years ago. Mazza was first elected to the House in 1973 and the Senate in 1984. Mazza was also known as a mentor under the Golden Dome that could work with anyone. One of those he took under his wing, his dear friend, Governor Phil Scott.
Obviously a tough loss for me personally, but for us as a state as well. But I'm comforted by the fact that he's no longer suffering.
While he may have changed chambers and committees in Montpelier over time, he always had Colchester at the top of mind.
Instrumental in anything Colchester needed was always on the top of his list. Colchester did not want for anything. Roads, bridges, the community, his gift giving to the community, gift baskets whenever they were needed.
Representative Pat Brennan of Colchester and Senator Bobby Starr, who's worked with Mazza for decades, reflected on some of their favorite moments with Mazza on Wednesday.
We tried to outdo each other in conference committee a few times, but I got a feeling Dick always won. I walked away with a tie once, and I thought it was a big win for me. So he was a great guy. He's going to be sorely missed in the Senate.
Years back, he used to put on a big meal for all the senators. And Dolly would come and some of the help from the store. And we'd take room 10 and he'd have the tables on all lined up buffet style.
In Colchester, Stephen Biddick, NBC5 News.
June is Pride Month, a time to recognize and celebrate the LGBTQ+. Although it's a struggle at times with hateful acts still being seen, there is much progress. Vermont's member of the U.S. House, Becca Balint, is an openly gay woman. She believes most Americans embrace the community.
Gay people, trans people, we're everywhere. And I think there is a sense in these smaller communities that it's not like we just got here. We've been here. We've been your friends and neighbors. And we're just going to be a little bit more open about who we are so that we can come together as a community and not have this division. I think visibility absolutely matters.
There will be Pride celebrations held across this region this month, including in St. Albans, where there is a new 3-day event taking place. Recently, I had a chance to sit down with the two organizers to talk about why it was so important to them to bring this event to their hometown.
We have a 3-day weekend planned of things we're doing. So on Friday, we won't be in Taylor Park. We'll be down at Nellie's, the Depot. We're doing the fabulous Franklin County Drag Ball. that's put on by St. Albans Pride Corps and Menace Productions Worldwide. So that's going to be our Friday, kind of our kickoff to the weekend. On Saturday is our really big, like our kind of big day for everything that we're doing. Saturday at 10 a.m. we're going to have a parade that's coming down Main Street. It's going to lead into the park. We're going to have some speeches, and that's going to lead into entertainment throughout the day. At 11 a.m. we have Drag Story Hour happening over at the St. Albans Free Library, which is awesome. Gosh, what else do we have going on that day?
We're going to have vendors all day. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have performances here at the bandstand. And then that's leading us up into the afternoon. And then that night we have the, what are they actually calling it?
We're having our 80s prom gala and silent auction in City Hall Auditorium. It's a ticketed event. It's, centering LGBTQ plus people just like we are for the whole weekend. But it's specifically a night of, celebration and, a lot of especially our elder members of the community here in St. Albans, Vermont, in the US in general, really didn't get to attend their proms for whatever reason. And if they did get to go, didn't get to go with, who they might have actually wanted to. Right. So it is an all ages event, but it's, we're really centering our community elders at this event is really what it is.
Scott, you grew up here. Why is this the first one?
Well, in our processes of doing all this, we've learned other people have tried to start groups and other things. They just, for whatever reason, nothing took off. We got fortunate that we were able to meet the right people at the right time. We made the right connections and we got the right volunteers and we were able to push through, and we just had a no quit attitude from day one. We just had a no quit attitude and we're like, we're going to do this. It's going to happen one way or the other.
And I know you asked Scott, but I did want to add, it should be noted that there were smaller things that have happened here before. Yeah. In 2022, there was a combination Pride and Juneteenth event that was put on by, a small local group of people. Right. And it was not to the level of what we're doing, but there's always been good intentions to make this happen. Just like Scott said, we just kept going at it and we didn't stop even when people told us to.
And what's been the reaction from folks here as you try to start this from the ground up?
Very positive overall. I would say maybe a 2 or 3% negative, but everything's been very positive. The city of St. Albans, I can't say enough how easy they were to work with and how eager they were to help us on every step of the way to get this done. Local businesses, the Depot again has been probably our second biggest supporter locally business-wise. I can't say enough about them either. But I mean, it's been very positive. People are very excited, and then we've had a lot of positive.
You're calling this an amalgamation, right?
Yeah.
Which of the past, the present, and the future. Tell me what that means.
So for us, because we started this, we started our nonprofit not just to do this Pride event, but to serve the LGBTQ plus community of our overall community. Right. So for us, one of our core values is education. And for us, that is education on the history of our community. There are a lot of youth, and even people my age. I'm only 25, but there are even people around my age who don't know enough about the history of our community, right. All of the steps we have taken to get to where we are. A lot of youth don't realize that it's less than 10 years ago at this point that gay marriage was, federally legalized across the U.S. And it causes a lot of breakdown in communication between our community, which is why we end up having a ton of inter-community issues. So for us, remembrance it's really important to talk about and acknowledge all of the LGBTQ plus people who have come before us and led us to this point where we're able to garner the support to do an event like this. And then talk about this present where, it's not only LGBTQ plus people who have been involved in helping us do this, it's been our allies as well. And they're people that we really have relied on and need to rely on and have been, in our cheering section, if you will, since day one.
Is there a misconception that this is just a big 3-day party, whereas really your goal is you're still fighting for equality, right?
Our kind of our goal is to show that, we are here and we will continue to be here and we will continue to fight to be visible and have our rights and to just be accepted till it gets to the point that we don't have to fight anymore. Right. Because the thing is, for me, if there wasn't so much pushback for LGBTQ plus people, in Vermont, in the US, worldwide, there wouldn't be such a need for us to be so loud because we wouldn't be fighting against anything anymore.
How many people are we talking about in Franklin County?
I'm
Collectively or for
also
LGBTQ plus?
LGBTQ plus.
So we did a lot of research into this back when we first started this nonprofit. And unfortunately, there's not really any reportable information that can be found on that.
Yeah.
Anecdotally, there are a lot of us. Anecdotally, there are a lot of us, but there is no actual, at this time, number present that we're able to use for any sort of percentage.
But you felt the need to start this nonprofit last year. And what is the Pride Corps? What's the mission of the Pride Corps?
Bringing knowledge, equity, kinship, and education to the LGBTQ plus community of Franklin County.
And how big a group are you, Scott? How many folks do you have?
Right now, we're not super large. I would say, about 15, 20 of us total.
Well, yes, but we're talking about Pride Corps specifically. So Pride Corps specifically, we have 6 board members.
Okay.
And other than that, and then obviously we have our volunteers, but that's the extent of our organization right now.
Okay. How would you gauge the success of this upcoming event? Is there a way to gauge, this was a success and we're going to bring it back year after year after year? What needs to happen?
I think we can gauge it as an success already right now, sitting here based on the response that we've gotten from the community and their expression of how much it's been. One of the biggest things we hear is, it's about time, it's been way overdue, it's way too long. We've had people from other areas, neighboring areas, that have said, you're just doing this now, it's 2024, and that's an almost exact quote. So I think it's a success just on that alone, based on the attention we're getting and the positive feedback we've got already.
And for me, completely agreeing with all of that. But another thing that really showed me that, no matter how many people we actually draw to this event, it's going to be a success to me regardless. Because we've received donations from people on our PayPal who have said, hey, I moved away from Vermont 25 years ago because it wasn't welcoming to me. And now I hear that you're doing this in the area where I grew up. And as a queer elder, it makes me so happy and so proud. And, I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
That's got to be a good feeling.
The fact that people who have moved away from here for that reason are hearing about this, that says a lot to me.
This event is happening in June, I'm going to guess, because it's Pride Month.
It is.
So for both of you, what does it mean to have pride in your community?
Would you like to go first?
Just being able to say, I'm happy to say this is where I come from, and I can feel accepted and loved here, which wasn't always the case, because I moved away back in 2007 because I didn't feel welcomed here. And I moved back to the area in 2020. And it was a completely different thing. So I can honestly say I'm proud to say I'm from here and that I feel supported and loved from the community.
Yeah, I would say, I have a pretty similar answer, which is that to me, being LGBTQ plus has always been about community. It's been about connecting with other people around me, whether they be LGBTQ plus or not, because when we talk about the LGBTQ plus community, our LGBTQ plus community is healthy when our overall community is healthy. So being able to be in a place where, I'm not worried about wearing my pin walking down the street and having somebody yell out of their car at me or stop me to, preach at me or anything like that. A place where I feel comfortable and I can walk into a room full of people and I know that they see me for who I am instead of what they might perceive as what I am.
To learn more about the schedule of events in St. Albans this weekend and their new nonprofit organization, you can check out their website, stalbanspridecorps.community. Jazz Fest starts this week. We have a preview of what you can expect at this year's festival. Plus, finding a new calling in retirement. We're going to take you to northern New York, where a former state trooper is using his eyes in the sky to reunite families. That's next. It's a big week for Burlington and its music scene with the return of the Burlington Discover Jazz Festival. The 5-day event gets underway on Wednesday. This year's curator is Caribbean soul funk artist Addie Oasis. Not only is it her first time as a curator, the lineup she's put together features many of her friends and fellow musicians who are coming to Burlington for the first time. When we spoke several weeks ago, she told us about how each night will have a different theme to give people a different taste of jazz each night.
The fun part is that every night sort of has its own identity. So the Wednesday, the opening night, you know, we're really targeting like Black women in jazz, and we're starting with honoring that. You know, the place of women like me, women of color in jazz. The second day is more about soul music, and then the Friday night is kind of the fun party time. That's also when I'm performing. So every night has something.
We're going to have coverage throughout the week, including on Thursday night when we'll be live downtown with music and special guests as we celebrate jazz music and this special annual event.
I wasn't aware of anybody in the area doing it. It certainly sounded interesting and seemed interesting to me, and wanted to give it a try.
If you've ever had your family dog run off and end up lost, you know the feeling of desperation. There is a northern New York man who is using his investigative skills with technology to help reunite man with his best friend, and it's become an invaluable service to families in need of that help. Brian Thu's golden retriever is just 9 months old. He's got a lot of energy. 3 weekends ago, Amigo got spooked by a UPS truck, broke from a plastic collar, and took off for the woods.
At one point, our family was standing on every corner hollering for Amigo, watching to see if he's going to cross the road. It just was a very long 24-hour period.
Thu and his family searched all day on Saturday, May 11th, and he woke up before sunrise on Mother's Day to continue the search of his Amigo.
We knocked on everybody's door. We made sure we could go on everybody's property. Everybody was very community-oriented and helped us in the search.
After a day of looking for him, Thu needed something different for the search. That's when he made a call for help to Chad Taverney in Malone.
I got a call from the family the night before, which was the day it was missing, and then, you know, they hadn't had any luck finding the dog, so they agreed to have me out. It was a Sunday morning, and it was a rainy day, which actually ended up working in our favor.
Taverney has been flying drones since 2015. Last November, he bought Maverick with a thermal imaging capability. He learned through groups on social media that people were flying these types of drones in other parts of the country to find dogs. In January, he started North Country Drone Search and Recovery. And like his drone, the service took off.
The day can range anywhere from a couple of hours to I have been out for like literally 12 plus hours in one day.
His searches have taken him all over northern New York and into Vermont. When we met him, he had successfully reunited dogs with their owners 18 times. On Mother's Day, Taverney made the drive from Malone to Morrisonville to go through the process of talking to the owner, looking at maps, and using his decades as a New York State police trooper and investigator to search for Amigo.
A lot of those search and rescue principles that I apply on the dog searches are things that I did experience during my career as a trooper, yes.
He flew for 2.5 hours before he found that one thermal spot he needed. 2.5 miles south from the Thu's property, Amigo was spotted in a swamp.
He was excited. He was just elated that we found the dog. We looked at the camera on the drone. He zoomed right into the ground at 400 feet, and we could see it was Amigo in a swamp.
Thu was too excited that when he first approached his golden, it sent Amigo running. They flew Maverick for another hour, spotting him in a cow pasture, where Thu was able to get his arms around and carry his dog back to safety.
One of the things that Chad said to me was, he goes, I got my bonus today, and I said to him, I can give you more for a bonus. And he's like, no, I've got my bonus. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you have Amigo. And that just hit home.
Taverney has shared these success stories on his Facebook page, which has now become a community of 30,000 followers, praising the work he's done to make families whole again.
It makes you feel good when you've been able to help somebody get their pet back.
If you want to follow Chad's latest rescue, you could search North Country Drone Search and Recovery on Facebook. By the way, the average rate he charges is $300 for a 4-hour search, with some additional charges for any travel expenses, depending on the location. The families that have gotten their dogs back will tell you it's worth every penny. Still ahead, we take a look back at some of the highlights from this year's Vermont City Marathon. Stay with us. Last week at this time, runners were still running and completing the Vermont City Marathon. Thousands of people and spectators filled the streets of Burlington to cheer on their family, their friends, and neighbors. Some of the local winners we had included the top Vermonters, Joanna Fortier of Richmond, Vermont, and Nick Orlando of South Burlington. Devin Murphy of Keysville, New York, came in first place in the hand cycling division. And Hannah Rowe, originally from St. Johnsbury, came in first place in the women's marathon division. She now lives in Boston. Our team was there providing live coverage for you from the starting line to the finish line. Let's take a look back at some of our favorite moments of this year's race.
There they go, the start of the 35th running of the Vermont City Marathon. 26.2 miles ahead for all of these men and women who are going to run the city of Burlington here this morning.
1,750 of them are running the full 26.2.
Now, did you actually get some FaceTime with Jeff as he ran by? Were you able to pick him out of the crowd?
So we haven't seen him yet today. We're going to see him here and then at the finish line, but we're excited to see him. I'm going to run down this whole street with him, I think so.
You're at a Cool Down Corner in Lakewood Estates, the best neighborhood in all of the marathon. We're out here cheering on these runners because they're putting in the hard work. It's hot out. Sometimes you gotta cool down. Sometimes you gotta eat a chocolate pastry. What do you think there?
We're hearing right now from the announcers, they're hearing some sirens, which means they're getting a lot closer.
Bib number 983. We're seeing that
Eric Corbett from Conway, New Hampshire.
First place in this year's Vermont City Marathon. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I last year missed a couple turns and was second, so being out front more or less from start to finish feels great.
This marathon's home. It feels like home each year. The crowds are great. They really get you going.
The community is always good, but it's just how many people realize how beautiful Vermont is and how special Vermont can be.
There's your champion, folks. 2024 Vermont City Marathon. Philemon Terrere from Amherst, Massachusetts.
The course was great, and the people of Vermont, they are very nice people. Since I came here, they have been welcoming all the time. So I really appreciate and really want to come back again.
Before I went out to Lake Champlain, I was just out there by myself. Oh my gosh, got emotional because I love Vermont so much, and it meant so much to compete here, and the energy was just awesome.
So for Liz Strappa, Brian Collar, and the rest of our team here at NBC5, thanks for watching the 2024 Vermont City Marathon here on NBC5.
Congratulations to all of those who competed last Sunday. And thanks for joining us this Sunday morning here on NBC5 In Depth. We'll see you next week.